scratched you across the face? No one scratched me across the face. What I have this condition called sleep apnea. Anyone here have sleep apnea? You have to sleep with a CPAP mask. It keeps the oxygen flowing so you can actually sleep instead of snore and wake up every 5 minutes. So I have this, I look like, boom, and it gets tight around your ears and your face, and then if you like pull it just tight enough against the pillow, then you wake up, you get these little scratch marks on your face, and it looks like, well, someone had a good time. I would love to say that that's the reason that I look like I just came off the battlefield, but no. Unfortunately, a little more boring. Plus, I had this whole thing of, I forgot to buy the right adapter plugs for your country. So last night, taking it for granted that hotels would have spares. They go, oh no, sorry mate, I'm fresh out. I'm like, oh, my breathing machine needs to be plugged in. So I'm like, oh geez. If I don't sleep with a breathing machine, I could risk having a heart attack or just not sleeping. That's not good. So I took a cab and went to the Walmart of your country. ASDA? Yes, where they have everything. And first I thought, why would they have a US to UK plug? This is the UK. But they did, they had one. They had an international one. We dug at the very last moment. The lady was so nice and found one at the very bottom. It's like, international to UK, US, Japan, like, yes, I'll take them all. So yes, happy ending, not that happy ending. Happy ending. Machine gets plugged in, I can charge my phone, life goes on, and then I oversleep this morning. But I tell you, man, when you're jet lagged, it's the best feeling in the world. And then the con calls you, it's like, hello, do you have a panel in 30 minutes? Like, oh yeah. I knew I was in England for a reason. Be right over. And I would have walked, but you know, it's raining. It's kind of icky. This is the typical weather, right?
Yes!
Yesterday was like, Kyle, you took California with you. Thank you.
Did you lose California then? We want it back.
You want it back? I know. It's in Ireland now. No, I don't know. It's just like drifting across the country. No, I honestly don't know. I don't know where it went. California, they do like their weather. They may have gotten really stubborn and taken it back, which I don't blame them. But yeah, so this is more typical. So it's probably going to do this crap the rest of the weekend, right? It's just going to drizzle and be miserable and like, here we are in merry old England. Like, oh. But everyone's so nice and cool, and people brought me water and fruit.
You gotta have alcohol, it's the next best thing.
Yeah, there you go. Alcohol or fruit, what would you like? Everyone's like, booze, or some people's like, a mix of both, give me a margarita, or a...
There might be some vodka left in my gourd.
That's what's in there. When I first saw Gara's little gourd there, I used to think, it's like, why is he walking around with a giant peanut? It's like, what if he has an allergy against nuts, and then he's going to go, oh, that's not good. Why I have an Indian accent all the time? It is not good. I do not understand. Why did I have to do that? I think he's crazy. This is crazy go nuts. Okay, so anyway. Hi, my name's Kyle. I'm an alcoholic. Oh, wrong meeting. Wrong meeting. It's not the alcohol. I'm not allowed to have alcohol. My doctor says, congratulations, you have diabetes type 2. I'm like, oh. So is that fixable? He goes, yeah, it is. You just have to, completely uproot and change your lifestyle. I'm like, oh, okay. You mean a lifetime of soda and stuff, and that's bad for you? Yeah, it's bad for you. Oh, okay. So I'm not at the point where I have to have insulin and all that. I just have to take pop a couple pills and just eat better. So I've already quit soda and dropped weight as people pop their cans open congrats. Does this bug you? Oh, yummy Coke. Well, here's the thing. I didn't drink diet soda until 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I went to the doctor, had blood work done, everything's fine. I skipped a year, continued to drink diet soda, and then this year, I started having weird symptoms. My ankles were swelling, and I couldn't sleep. Like, what's going on? He goes, oh yeah, you have elevated cholesterol, elevated blood pressure, elevated blood sugar. Like, oh, really? So, yeah. But things are coming down. Everything it's in control. So one day I will reverse this, and I'll be able to enjoy and imbibe. Yeah, because anything in moderation is okay, just like you always hear. So yeah, I'll go back and enjoy a Coke from time to time, or a beer, or whatnot. It's just that right now, alcohol in your body is absorbed as sugar. And as a diabetic, that's bad. That's very, very bad. Alas. So, someone brought me water and they wrote the words diet on the side. This is awesome. You guys have an awesome sense of humor. I took a picture of it, so I'm going to upload it to Instagram. Like, I love you guys, you're so awesome. This is my second year here, and how long has this been going on?
7 years.
7 years, okay, that's a considerable chunk of time. That's cool, that's cool. Because I've been to the MCM Expo, that's huge, it's big, it's London, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, this is like a little more intimate and cool, plus everyone buys you drinks. I mean, everyone's like really, really cool, and like, I learned what a fishbowl was last year. And let's face it, there's not many conventions that have a stage next to a bar. That's just bonus. Crazy. Excuse me, I must take a swig of my diet water.
It's only available in Sussex.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is Scottish.
Manufacturing in Bristol.
That's not Sussex. And you're like, oh, close enough, right? I ran into someone last night out in front of the I call it the Union Building. What is it called?
Student Union.
Yeah. So I'm going outside, leaving for the night, and this dude goes, can you understand a thin word that the Scottish say? I'm like, I'm having a little difficulty understanding anything anybody says here. The accent's a little thick, so I'm like, I'm sorry? I'm sorry? What? Could you slow down to the American, please? Thank you. And the guy's like, Americans are dodgy, eh? Can't understand a bloody word you're saying. I'm like, man, it's really like Monty Python here. No, it's not. I love Monty Python. Any Monty Python fans here? Woo! Now that's comedy. Ah, good stuff. Crazy. So, here I am, rock you like a hurricane. And when I start saying things and I realize they sound like lyrics to songs, then I can't get the song out of my head. And that's what happens. Sorry. So, you bring the Q's, I bring the A's. Not from Canada, eh? Like, how do you spell Canada? C-A-N-A? D-A? Eh? What's that boot? A lot of Canadian friends. So yeah, I do voices and shows, and sometimes they pay me to let them out of my head, which is great, because, you know, you want to make a living doing something that doesn't seem like work. Been doing this for 13 years, been very, very blessed to do what I do. Very, very blessed, because I've been wanting to do voices for animation ever since I was a kid. And last year, I got to have a dream realized that I never thought would happen just in the circumstances that it did. I got to be in Wreck-It Ralph for 10 seconds. And the only reason, thank you, the only reason I got to be on there is not because I'm a star or a celebrity, it's because I happen to be the voice of Ryu in Street Fighter, and I happen to do a movie about video games that happen to have cameos from iconic video game characters. So they came to me. That's pretty awesome. I mean, they didn't call me directly, they called my agent, so my agent calls me. And she goes, so, Kyle, Disney wants you. I go, yes. Okay, I said, I'll do it for free. And she goes, no, you're not doing it for free. That's her job, an agent. Yeah, they gotta hustle. They gotta start to negotiate. And it's like, well, we can't get you that high a rate, you know. You're not gonna get like millions of dollars or anything. Like, no, that's okay. Really, I'll do it for free. And they're like, no. I tried to get it higher. So it's a little bit higher than the normal rate. It's like, okay, all right, that's fine, as long as you didn't piss them off. No, it all worked out. It said, yeah, he only has 2 lines. Why would we pay him a lot of money? Which was my thought. I'm like, yes, a little money, okay. It's my mere pittance for walking in and like, oh gosh. Unfortunately, they didn't need Mickey. They've got a Mickey voice. If they wanted one, they could have one, no extra charge. So yeah, I go in and record like 4 different times. And it's like, wait, Kyle, you said 10 seconds. That's a cameo. Like, yes, they kept rewriting the cameo. They made it funnier and funnier each time. 'Cause the first time, it wasn't very funny. I mean, the first time, it was like, Ryu and Ken in the Street Fighter II arcade cabinet, right? No spoilers, you guys have probably seen the movie. At the beginning of the movie, you know, you see the Dance Dance Revolution girl. She goes, okay, the coast is clear, arcade's closed. And this is the first time you see the video game characters like, oh, okay, people are gone. It's like Toy Story. And then they get up and they go to their little Grand Central Station thing and they power outlet, I guess. So Ryu and Ken are fighting like, sure you can! And then I say some line about like let's go to Tappers, Ken. The original incarnation was, I wanted to keep fighting. And Ken says, no. She said, stop. Said, the arcade's closed. Cut it out, Ken. And like, or whatever. Maybe I'm saying that. And Ken won't stop. And then I say, Master Go, Ken! You know, like, hey, he's touching me. Like, it's cute, but it's like, do people know who Master Goken is? I don't know. I mean, if you're really a really hardcore Street Fighter fan, you might, but I think most people probably like, Master who? It's like, all right, that's cute. I'm not going to say anything. I'm an actor. I will read their lines. It's like, hey, you want me to say, I love peanut butter? I will say that as much as you want, as loudly as you want, as many times as you want. I'm in the booth for 5 minutes. I said, thank you very much. And they were like gushing. They were like, oh my God, I can't believe the voice of Ryu's here. Like, I'm the one who's supposed to be freaking out. I'm in Disney. What? What? That's my line. No, and then 2 weeks later they call back. And my agent goes, Disney still wants you. Like, really? Did they fire someone? Did Ralph get fired? Like, John C. Reilly, my name's Ralph, I'm a bad guy. You know, I'd love to take his job. But, and then it turns out they rewrote the line. And the guy, I gave him a Hadouken! You know, the signature sound that Ryu does. And I come back 2 weeks later, they go, so about that power-up yell thing, that attack move, the animators actually did a Shoryuken instead. Can you give us that? Like, sure I can. So I gave it to them and they did the slightly tweaked line. I go back a 3rd time, they rewrite it again. And then a 4th time, the movie is practically done at this point. The movie's 3 months from theatrical release. I go to the Disney lot on this huge sound stage and have this huge screen and they have it projected on the screen. You know, it's all QuickTime video now, by the way. It's not, they never cut to film, or very few people cut to film anymore. And I asked them, just like they told me, it's like, can I see my scene? They're like, totally. So they scream like, I'm just like a little kid just about to just burst. And they're like showing like, Now, there's like, it's not like anime dubs where you have to match the mouth flaps or anything, because if you see the little, it's little 8-bit Ken and Ryu in Street Fighter 2. It's not Street Fighter 4. That's where I took over the role in English, because there wasn't an English cast before. Not for the games. There was an old school anime series, and there was an old school cartoon series that's really bad. You want to laugh. Google for Street Fighter the cartoon.
Yes, do that. Do it.
Yeah, because it's a sequel to the 1994 movie with Van Damme. Because, you know, people begged for that. Like, I wonder what happened to M. Bison.
Change the channel.
Change the channel. I feel so bad for the actor who voices Zangief in the game because in the movie, it's not him. And then I found out the movie comes out, and because I told him, because we saw the trailer's got Zangief in it, and I go, you know, since you brought me in and you brought Ruben Langdon in who voices Ken, it's like, we can get you the rest of the cast. We have the numbers, we can make a call. And the director, Rich Moore, says, no, that's okay, we're good, we're happy with the actor we have. And then 3 months later, the movie comes out, and they go, oh, I understand what he meant. Zangief, Rich Moore.
Oh.
Director took the job. You can do that, you're the director. But yeah, not only did he take Zangief's lines away, but I mean, he did a great job with it. Like, oh, you're not a bad guy, because it was great. But he also voiced my favorite character in the movie, Sour Bill. The little green ball who's like, I'm King Candy. He's like Eeyore, except he's a little gumball or whatever. That was fun stuff. So yay, Disney. And my friend's watching my daughter back in the States. He goes, I think you got your residual check this week. Like, what? Oh, sweet. Money. I can pay rent. Because this career is, it's crazy. It is equal parts awesome, equal parts, oh my God, what am I doing? Why don't I get a real job? Because it's freelance. And freelance, as many of you artists and animators know, yeah, you don't work 9 to 5 with benefits and a nice big fat paycheck. You work only when someone contracts you or contacts you to contract. And then you're done. And then like, okay, now what? And then you're like, oh crap. So in my field, my calling card is a voice demo, which is about 60 seconds long, and I have to hope that people will hear it and be interested at least enough to have me audition for stuff. So then I try out, and then 9 times out of 10, I don't get cast. And it's like, but Kyle, you're in Dragon Ball Z, you're in Wreck-It Ralph. It's like, that doesn't matter. Believe it or not, my resume, it's great for the ego. It's like, look at all that stuff I got to be on. But when they're casting, they're like, who are you again? Kyle Hebert? Like, no. I'm not going to bother correcting you. I will probably never see you again. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so I try out for so many things. I have an agent and the agent's job is to get you auditions. And bless her heart, man, she gives me tons of auditions for cartoons, for video games, for commercials, all types of work. So when I come to an anime convention, people say, I want to dub anime. That's the voice work. All I ever want to do. It's like, you realize you'll never make any money doing that, right? No one lives on just doing anime work. The ones that do work at Funimation, and there's no more jobs like that. So that's truly a flash in the pan sort of thing. It's like, that will never happen. The luck factor is huge. It's like, yeah, you gotta be the right place, the right time, know the right people, and be a good actor. All that fun stuff. And I wasn't like a trained actor like everyone else. I was too shy to get on stage. I couldn't memorize lines. And then next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire, and next thing I get into radio. The other thing that I wanted to do since I was a kid. I wanted to be a DJ, not a scratching on a dead mouse. No. On the radio, the guy who announces the records and all that stuff. So I did that for years. Had fun. I got to do character voices on the air. I got to do radio dramas. I got to do writing and producing and all that. So that's where my acting foundation kind of came from. And after I started working on Dragon Ball Z 13 years ago, then that started opening up to other things. And then it's like, oh, I think I'll take an acting class. I should probably do that. Since it's, you know, you wouldn't want a doctor operating on your brain that's never done it before, right? Hello, mate. So you've got a tumor, and I couldn't take it out, I think. It's like, have you done it before? It's like, yeah, many times in my head.
Australian.
That sounds Australian. Oh, Australian, you have to do that. You have to like, oh mate, alright, I can operate on that tumor. But lot of our British are a little more upper crust. Unless you're like this, and then you're Cockney. I like doing Cockney accents, it's lots of fun. My favourite Cockney accent is from The Young Ones. It's a show in the 80s. Neil, I like Neil. Yeah, that's right. Vivian! I just love talking like that guy, he's great. See, you know why I like? Because he talks slow. The American can understand it. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Anyway, hi, how's it going? Diet water. What? Only the best. From Sussex. Sussex is spelled Scotland. What? Scotland? Yeah, alright. Questions? Yeah.
Whether it be on video games or animation in general, with Dragon Ball Z, were there any particular roles that you wanted to play or couldn't get, but aside from Teen Gohan?
Oh, okay, so on Dragon Ball Z, I ended up getting Teen Gohan, who becomes an old Gohan in GT, Great Saiyaman, Mystic Gohan, all that fun stuff. And then I get the narrator. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. And then I get Bucksky, oh boy, yeah. And West Kai, oh, my guy, he's one of these fighting West Coordinate. And that's awesome. And I get all those roles, but the only one that I chose out of a list of audition scripts that I saw at the time in 2000 when I first tried out was Teen Gohan. I didn't recognize anyone else because I'd only seen what had aired at the time, which was the Canadian version, the Ocean dub, which still exists. There's 2 English dubs of Dragon Ball Z. And the Canadian dub just came out in America on DVD, which has been out of print for years. And then, of course, the Funimation dub, which we did in Texas, that's long been available uncut and, you know, Dragon Ball Z Kai and all that. But typically, because you hit on a good point, voice actors don't get to choose what we're trying out for generally. I can't just go into a studio and like, I would like to read for your biggest role. That's why you have a demo. Your demo gets to the casting people, they listen to your demo and go, oh, okay, there's his range, he can voice this type of character, or this age, or this, that, and the other. It's like, because you can't get cast for everything, you're not appropriate for everything. Some of us have a wider range, so we get to read for, you know, a 17-year-old Gohan, and then maybe a 40 or 50-something-year-old narrator, and then a West Kai, who knows how old he is. I just know that Chris Sabat tells me, it's like, just come up with your own voice. It's like, well, he's a Kai. Maybe he should sound like King Kai. Like, okay, well, he is. And I thought, oh, that sounds like Droopy and Cartman.
What exactly is your whole take on the whole debate, you know, between Ocean Dub and Funimation? People have their own tastes.
Their own tastes, yeah.
But what exactly is your take on that?
My take is that's the first dub that I saw. So to me, Piccolo is Scott McNeil, and Brian Drummond is you know, Vegeta, and I love that. That's the first one I heard. Just like many people, I'm sure many of you guys watch anime in Japanese, and that's fine. As long as you're not hating on dubs, it's like, don't suck. It's like, you know, there's other things more constructive to be angry about in the world, right? It's like, I only want to sit and hit to this small vocal community online, so therefore I'm just going to trash talk people. Like, why? Stop trolling. Just watch anime the way you like. If it's in Japanese, awesome. If it's in Australian, awesome, mate. Yeah, there's no Australian dubs. But yeah, you know, pick one and watch one. You know, with Ocean dub and the Funimation one, you know, I'm a little torn because I know a lot of those Canadian actors and I think they're great people, and we're just actors. You know, we get to come in and direct us. What do you want us to do? As long as the fans are enjoying the story, man. We got DBZ done first, an uncut form. Years later, they finished. So I was actually the first Teen Gohan in English. And then Brad Swale and everybody came in and they finished Z. And then we did Kai, which hopefully we'll get to finish one of these days. Because I think they're doing the Buu Saga after all. And it's like, well, that would be nice if we can actually finish it. And then I think Canada's probably going to do their version of Kai too. So it's like, all right, this is rare. A show that's dubbed in English twice. Pick a cast and roll with it, you know? Which one do you like? It's okay if you like Ocean better, I'm just curious.
Well, I grew up with Ocean Dub.
Yeah.
So I kind of find it debatable if I kind of find it hard to switch over to one other thing. I do like the strengths of both dubs. I just find it more on an emotional level. I find it more attractive towards the Ocean Dub.
Sure.
Because it just
It's what you saw first.
Oops, sorry.
It's what you saw first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like people will watch a show in Japanese, or the Pokemon dub has 2 casts. I mean, the original Ash and all that, and then they had a newer cast, and I felt sorry for the new cast because they got a lot of hate. It's like, you're not Veronica Taylor. Like, whatever, under the terrible circumstances for, it's not the actor's fault. It's like, you gotta make sure you place your anger in the right department, It's like, oh, One Piece, those actors ruined it with 4 kids. It's like, no, they didn't. They did the job as they were told, otherwise they wouldn't be working. Japanese, it's their show, and they said, we want to get our show on television. It's like, you mean edit out the cigarettes and change names and make it more mainstream for little kids? It's like, yeah, do that. So, don't hate on the, 4 kids. They're just doing, it's like, all right, you want to get this on TV, it's going to be censored, it's going to be washed out. And that's what happened with Dragon Ball Z, especially the Ocean dub in the early days. I had no idea until we did the uncut version of Dragon Ball Z how bawdy that show is, how violent it truly is. It's like, oh, that's what they mean by Dragon Ball Z is not a kid's show. Yeah, it's really not. It's like in Disney playing Naruto for years on Disney XD, one of their cable channels, because it's aimed at little boys. And I'm sure they just saw it. It's like, oh, this anime, this Naruto thing, that's popular with boys. We should license that. Excuse me, sir, have you read the plot? Do you know what happens in it? Do you know how much blood is it? No, it's fine, we'll just edit it. It's like, and it gets to the point in Shippuden, the sequel series, that you can't even really show it on TV. It's like, here's the intro song, and there's the outro song. What? What happened to the show? It's a big commercial to go buy it uncut on DVD. It's like, go buy it, it's out now. You can watch all of its bloody glory. So I don't get bothered by censorship, because in general the shows are available in uncut form on DVD and Blu-ray and all that. Yeah.
What's probably the funniest blooper that you've ever done?
Funniest blooper, man. Well, we all blow our lines because there's no rehearsal. We go in. All I ever know about a session is the time and the place, and sometimes even the project. It's like, okay, we need you for a video game, and we'll see you there. Because they have the script. They're the ones who are going to tell me in like 30 seconds or less, it's like, this episode, your character dies. What? I'm just kidding. He's around for 56 episodes. And then he dies. Like, get in the booth. Get in the booth. Do it now. We have that joke all the time. My Naruto director, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who's directed me on other shows too. Every time the session ends, she goes, get out of the booth! It never gets old. But man, we blow takes left and right. There's hours and hours of audio blackmail. You edit fight sounds from the females together, it sounds like porn. It just does. It's like, what's she doing? Like, she's having a good... No, she's killing people. Oh, okay. She's climbing stairs. Now she's jumping. Now she's... Ooh. No, she's eviscerating this guy, turning him into mincemeat. Like, oh, you sure? Sounds like she's enjoying it. But yeah, man, I blow takes and then I'll start speaking in tongues. I like, the answer is over there. Other people break into song, but the answer's over there on the hills alive, the sound of music. And then other people just get dirty. Crispin Freeman, Steve Bloom are notorious for just turning anything into an X-rated, And then those outtakes get shown at a select few conventions only. They never come out on the DVDs. And people go, how come you don't put the bloopers out? That's the best part. And I was like, believe me, we're on your side. The bloopers are the best part. It's like, it's so hysterical. Because we go in there and we have fun. That's why the job is so awesome. we could give 110% to the performance, get in character, and then boom, you're recording, go. But we divorce ourselves as soon as the session's over. We don't get to keep the scripts. We don't get to get copies of it or anything. We just go back to our lives and wait for someone else to call. It's like, hello, we need you at 9 to 11 at this studio. I'm like, okay. I just go to that. And then 6 months later, I go to a convention. It's like, you were great in so-and-so. I'm in what? Do the voice, do the voice. What voice? Say the line. What line? Yeah, it's like, dance, monkey dance. Yes.
Have you seen Attack on Titan yet? And would you audition, what character would you like to audition for if you have?
I know it's like the show right now. It's like a couple of years ago it was Blue Exorcist, and then I ended up getting to be on that dub, so Ballin' Suguro. I know Attack on Titan is like the huge thing. Yes. Someone's a fan of that, apparently. But I do not know where it's going to be dubbed. If it's to be dubbed in Los Angeles, then great. But I think Funimation has it, I think their channel in the States is running it subtitled or something. But I don't know a single character on the show. All I know is it's huge and people love it. Right?
Yes!
Okay. And then other people, like, I go see Pacific Rim and like, Jaegers, and they go, oh, they stole that from Attack on Titan. It's like, it's not necessarily true. Pacific Rim has been in production for like 4 years. It's like, Jaeger is a very old German word, yeah? Feminine warrior? Hunter. Yeah, okay. I knew you guys would know. Educate the stupid American. But speak slowly. So you can understand me. Yeah. So, no clue. I don't get to choose. If I got to try out for Attack on Titan, of course I'd be thrilled. But you know, sometimes I get to read for bigger roles, usually, and get the small stuff.
Your character would die.
Really? Okay.
In other words, your character would exist.
The character would exist, yeah. I have 2 guys on Sword Art online, and then I die. Yeah. But everyone says, don't worry, everyone dies on that show.
Find the Dragon Balls!
Yeah, I should, yeah, summon the dragon, wish me back to life. Godfrey and Cain, so like one's in episode 5, one's in episode 10, and then that's it. Thank you and good night. Yes.
Yes, I don't know if you know, there's actually a picture scavenger hunt going on.
Oh yeah.
One of the pictures is to get someone doing a Hadouken pose. And I don't have anyone more from
I just have to pose just like the Okay. Alright, I'll do this side first, and then I'll do this side. So get your cameras ready.
If you can say it as well, get really into it.
Get really into it, huh? Okay. Jeez. Now this side. I don't know which came first. The Street Fighter was in the 80s, Dragon Ball was in the 80s. So I don't know. Does anyone know their history?
Street Fighter.
What came first?
Street Fighter. The original Street Fighter came before the Dragon
Who
Ball.
ripped who off first?
Dragon Ball was 87.
Dragon Ball was 87.
Street Fighter was 86.
Everyone rips up Dragon Ball, even Sonic.
Yeah. It's like, no, imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery, right? We're just borrowing this. Right. Yes.
Can you remember what the very first voiceover piece you did as an actor ever was?
Oh, wow. Well, I consider my career having started with Dragon Ball Z. I've done like some commercial stuff. I don't remember that back in my radio days. The first thing I did for Dragon Ball Z was the Bardock special. just bit parts. No one ever starts with a big role. And the reason is that, you know, the technical aspect of matching lip sync and all that, that's something that not every actor can do. You could get someone who's been doing Shakespeare for 30 years, throw them in a booth and they'll freak out because the beeps. We have the beep system. That's the starting gun for, like, when do you start your line? And you have to match the lip sync and like, beep, 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 line. And sometimes the trained stage actor will go, beep, beep, beep. Oh, I can't do this. I get off the table for it. It's like, so it's a very technical skill, and not everyone is up to snuff, unfortunately. But then some of us, I guess, are blessed, and we can at least fake it. A couple months after I was hired, and I was doing bit parts, and then I was awarded the role of Gohan. They said, yeah, we weren't sure it was going to work out with you. It's like, oh, really? You're good actors, because you told me I was doing great. So I was like, no, you're much better now. It's like, okay, good. Woo! So you got Gohan, yay! So Gohan was the first thing I tried out for, but I didn't get the role for like 3 or 4 months, which is next to nothing. There's people that try out and then don't get hired for years. There's no magical formula for getting hired other than, what?
Long jobs.
Maybe, I don't know. Haven't tried that one. What? Another what? Are there open auditions? Am I hoping to find?
Are you open for
He's
trying?
asking if you'd be open to trying. that
Open
method.
for trying.
That method.
Oh. No. In the Skeletor costume.